see him too. Hey, hello, hello.
Hey everybody.
Here we are. So, welcome to Tips from Tara, our video series. Welcome to those who are joining. Can you hear me okay? Give a thumbs up if you can hear me. A little sound test, so appreciate that. Thumbs up, Susan. Folks who are joining, if you can hear me, give a thumbs up. Let us know. Super helpful. We're going to assume you can't hear me. Oh, good. I think you can hear me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, so a great big welcome to Tips from Tara, the video series. This is Tara Sage of TaraSageCoaching.com. And Tara Sage Coaching is devoted to helping you live your dreams and create a life and business that you don't need a vacation from. And I am so excited to be here today with my boyfriend, Carl.
Hey everybody.
And together with our dog, Cosmo, who's laying in the shade behind us. We live full-time in an RV, and we are working from the road. We salsa dance at places we find along the way, and we are traveling at our own pace. Is that working? Ooh, where'd the light go, honey? You see that?
Yeah, it looks great.
Huh. Can you guys still see us? Technology. Okay, good. All right, good. So, we know that folks are curious about why we've decided to live this lifestyle and how we do it. So for the next 6 weeks, we are doing this special series to really give you the scoop on our RV lifestyle and how and why we do it. Yeah? Did I sum it up? Okay. So, where are we?
Right now we're in Savannah, Georgia. This is our second time here. We stopped here before the holidays, and there's a lot of reasons we've come back. Tara, I like to tease her because she likes the balconies.
Oh, I love the balconies. Savannah, Georgia is so charming, and I was just so excited to come back here. I love the big trees, the big live oak trees.
Spanish moss.
Yeah, the Spanish moss that hangs from them, and these iron balconies. The architecture is so beautiful. It's just such a charming place, and there's a lot of really good restaurants, and what else? The people.
Yeah. The people, the city here, all I can say about Savannah really is that our second time back in town, it felt like the city was embracing us. It was just very warm and pleasant. I felt that way in very few other locations, but to feel it again, our second time back was just like, okay, it was a good choice to come back to Savannah.
Yeah, so there's our Savannah plug. If you ever get a chance to come here, give us a heads up, and we'll tell you the restaurants we like to go to and things like that. So this lifestyle, I would say, has really become our new normal, and we want to share some of that with you. So what do you want to say about that?
I want to say how much more relaxed I am compared to, I guess, apartment life and having to commute every morning and every afternoon to and from work. Just getting out of a routine. No day is the same, and things are just much more enjoyable. They're more engaging. The days are more engaging. Who knows what might happen? Who knows what might break? Who knows? Who knows who might be walking by?
Yeah.
And it's all part of the charm. It's. What about you?
Yeah, I love the freedom of it. I love the variety and the spontaneity of it. And we were talking in advance, and we both said how empowering it feels to be in such control of our days, even more so. It just feels like we have so much more freedom and fun and space in our mind and heart for improv in our life, and it's just really freeing and has this real sense of peace of mind. It's like semi-retirement mode. It's really awesome.
Yeah. And I was just telling Tara the other day, we have all the comforts of home in our 20-foot RV. It sounds small, but it's actually a lot of space. We've made it big.
Yeah.
I can have 2 feet in the same place, and I can almost reach the bed and the bathroom door. I can reach the fridge, the microwave, the stove, the sink, and the dinette. It's really easy. It's so easy. You think about it, the upkeep and so little time.
Yeah.
So much, I guess. Yeah, so much less time is spent maintaining those types of things when it's in a small space like that.
Yeah, so much of life just feels simpler. That's how I would sum it up. You know, responsibilities feel condensed, and there's more ease and flow, and just less tasks that are daunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the other day, I was just checking. I'm a remote employee, IT worker, and I was checking my timesheet, and I realized since she and I have been on the road, I've accrued, well, at this point in time, I have 30 days of vacation time, and it just dawned on me that I had no pressing urgency to use them, and that was, yeah. I mean, we're switching locations about every week. Sometimes we stay a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But to be able to go through I won't even call it a typical work day, but a regular day of work, and feel like you're on vacation while you're doing it, it's just, it's a game changer.
Cheers to that.
For me, personally.
What a sport. Carl doing Facebook Live with me. That's so fun. So, what else? What else do we want to tell you? So we really are loving this lifestyle, you know, feeling the benefits of more ease, more relaxation, the freedom to go where we feel like going, whether it's because we want to follow the sun, the weather. It's like, oh, it's getting cold this week, let's go south. You know, it's very improvised. Or we went to the Charlotte area specifically to go and take some dance lessons there with a really skilled teacher. So we get to improvise and decide in that way where we're going when. So that's very, very cool. But it wasn't always this way. We obviously were motivated to do this for reasons. And we want to share a little bit of our before life too. So, do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been living in the Washington, D.C. area for most of my life. I was born in Jersey, but I've been living in the D.C. area for most of my life. And I've also been working with the same company for most of my life. And although I've been out of the area and I consider myself to be reasonably well-traveled in Europe and in the United States, coming home was more than just getting back from vacation, and it never felt like I was coming home. DC never felt like it was going to be my final stop. And although I wanted to continue traveling and perhaps move somewhere else, I didn't want to be doing the same thing, the same type of, I wouldn't call it a rat race, I'd just call it the daily grind. I didn't want to be doing the same thing somewhere else. You know, DC has a lot of charm, and I definitely have not explored all the area has to offer. It's just such a vastly diverse town. But there was one day I thought, and I realized there's a lot of people just so focused on what they're doing that it seems like everyone has blinders on. They're not really seeing what's going on around them. But then I also had to acknowledge that I was wearing the same blinders as well. And that was when I was like, okay, something's gotta change. One of the actually at the time seemed like one of the most challenging shifts, but turns out to be one of the easiest ones, was to just remove myself and begin traveling nomadically.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you for your story. I know that spoke to other people. So I'll share a little bit of my own kind of journey with travel and home. In my heart of hearts, I have always been a gypsy soul and a free spirit, and someone who's always longed for adventure and really longed to see more and more of the world. Home for me has never really felt like a place or an address or even a town or a state. I've really always felt like a citizen of the world in the truest sense of that. And I always was craving that spontaneity, really wanting to be able to just pick up and go when I felt like it. And I know myself really well, and I know that I really thrive when things feel fresh and when things feel new. And I too have traveled quite a bit. I've been to Australia and New Zealand and parts of Europe. And those who know about my work know that I am location independent. So that is very much by design, that my business was something that I could do from anywhere, anywhere there's internet and telephone. So that was by design because of my free spirit itself. And yet, I really value the comforts of home. And this has always been a pickle for me. It really created this strong inner conflict because I thought, you know, how do I have both? How do I have the comforts of home, because I really like my bed, and I really don't like living out of a suitcase for very long, but I always wanted to have the freedom to just pick up and go. Now, I was listening to an interview recently with Gloria Steinem, and she said something that really, really spoke to me, and I want to share it with you. She said, birds need a nest and they still fly. And I thought, yeah. So how do I have both? How do I have a nest and still fly? And you know, RV life has been the answer for me. Before RV life, my desire for home base more often than not resulted in me feeling rooted in ways that I didn't want to be. I was making agreements, like financial and otherwise, that kept me rooted in the place where I was, despite having a business that I could do from anywhere. I was very rooted to one place. So RV life has been my answer. It's my mobile nest, which is behind us. Yeah.
I just want to say it's really interesting because I love camping, and I've always enjoyed camping, and I still do. And I remember setting up camp and watching people pull in with their RVs and just kind of teasing them or joking about them, because here they are with their air conditioners and solid walls and you know, gas stoves and sinks and flushing toilets, and I'm like, that's not camping. You know. Meanwhile, I'll be lying on my back in the middle of the night being dripped on by rainwater right on my forehead.
Yeah.
That didn't happen all the time. There's different ways to do this. RVing isn't the only way, but it's what we've chosen.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know, it's such a shift in, I don't even know if I can just describe it.
It is hard to describe. We're trying to do our best
Yeah.
to describe something indescribable that really just must be experienced to be understood. For the record, I don't love camping. And yet I have all of the comforts of home with the RV. So for those of you who don't love camping, this is not about camping for me. This is about freedom and being able to go and move and explore and bring the nest with me.
Yeah, and the fun of not knowing where we're going next. We have plans, but they're not. Yeah.
Loose,
Yeah.
very loose.
Yeah. Where do you want to go today?
Yeah, yeah. So,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, so we had this idea, we did some pros and cons and discussions about it, and then we decided to dive in. And Well, we've learned a ton along the way. It was definitely a crash course. We didn't know what we were doing in many ways and have figured things out. But we're so excited to now be launching a new program through my company. It's called Nomadic Living 101. Yay! And so I want to invite you to check it out. NomadicLiving101.com is the website to go to. That will take you to the page with all the information about it. But just to give you a couple of bullet points about the program, we're going to be sharing all of the ins and outs of what it really takes to live this lifestyle and pass along everything that we have learned. No question will go unanswered. The last module is going to be a Q&A, ask us anything. So anything that hasn't been covered, we're going to answer at that.
Yeah.
You're also going to get the perspective of Carl being a remote employee and my being an entrepreneur with a location independent business, and we're going to help you figure out and navigate what the best path is for you, assuming you are working from the road. What else? Also going to answer mechanical.
Yeah, I see your question.
Oh, yeah?
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, go ahead.
interrupt.
What does it say? I can't see
She's
it.
asking, how easy is it to find a place to park your RV when you decide to move to your next location? Can you explain a bit more about that?
Yeah.
Basically, we contact various RV parks in advance, and like making a reservation at a hotel, they basically let us know if they have any vacancies for our type of RV, the size, what it's equipped with, and basically we just go. As far as there have been times it's been difficult to make those reservations based on the time of year or where we're trying to go.
Like the Florida Keys.
Yeah.
We got in though.
Yeah,
we did it.
We did. But once we get there, we're kind of it's up to us to set things up with the equipment that we have, getting it leveled, chalking the wheels, getting everything plugged in. A lot of that equipment is fairly standard. The electrical, the water, the drain system, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And we're going to be going into all of that in really in-depth detail. The mechanics of RV life, everything you need to know. We're going to demo it for you and walk you exactly through how to do things.
Demonstrate.
Yes, demonstrate.
Not demolish.
Not demolish. Good clarification,
Yes.
thank you. Also, all the logistics of things like that, how to decide where you're going, strategies and tools, like there are apps you can use and all kinds of different avenues to make that easy, or make discounts and clubs you can join and things like that. And also the lifestyle, making friends and seeing people along the way. And we've also done some driveway visits where we stayed with family and hooked up to their electric
and tripped their circuit breakers.
And all of this is going to be in one program, and we're not going to hold back. We're going to share everything you need to know and make sure you have what you need. So that website is NomadicLiving101.com. And just really invite you to check it out. We've had a few people register for the program already, and for the next 10 people, we're offering a special price.
Okay.
So don't wait. So go to the website and you'll see all of those details there, and reach out and let me know if you have any questions at all. Okay? So what else?
I just want to say, give a quick shout out to our friends from Marathon Island that we met.
We miss you.
And Myra and Bill and Leanne. Leanne. Oh my gosh. Such a nice time. Yeah, we miss them. We miss them.
We've made so many connections and seen people we wouldn't usually see, family that we've visited, and friends and colleagues that we've seen in person. So there's no lack of connection happening here, and shout out to them. So how's Cosmo, or has Cosmo met friends along the way? Yeah, totally. There's dog parks at a lot of the RV sites that we go to.
Yeah.
And lots of people travel with their dogs.
Yeah, we have yet to run into a dog that wasn't well behaved.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been pretty easy with Cosmo, actually.
Yes, yeah. So before I forget, I want to mention my tip from Tara for today, and then anything else that needs to be said, we'll chime in and take any questions that you have before we wrap too. So my tip from Tara today is, as I shared my story earlier about what felt like a pickle, right? I had these two desires that seemed conflicting. I want to invite you to ask yourself and do the deep dive and tune into what desires do you have that feel perhaps like conflicting desires or like a pickle. And my challenge for you is to claim both. To claim that you can have both things without knowing how necessarily. Own that the two things that seem conflicting, that there is a way, and start to look for it. As maybe you saw in my last tips from Tara, we talked about how to expand the possibilities in your life. So start to look for it. Ask yourself, how can I have this and this both? And look for that both and scenario and try to avoid that either or thinking. So passing along that quote that I shared earlier, how can you have a nest and still fly? So that's my challenge and my invitation for you to consider for yourself today.
What a great consideration.
Yeah, you like it? Good.
I like it.
All right, awesome. So any other questions before we wrap for today? All right, there's a lot of noise going on. We don't know what it is. So welcome to live video, Carl.
Oh, this is great.
How do you do? So good. All right, bye.
Bye, everyone.
Lots of love. Bye.